No, 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 no. Oh no. Oh, it's all just gonna flood off. I'm gonna be getting my Red Rising tattoo. Can't be bringing any books home. That has like real life consequences. This is a solid piece of Joe Abercrombie work. I don't want to say he's useless. He does play a role. I will not be going in here because I'm scared. Hello my guys, welcome back to a more casual vlog. I feel like it's been a long time since we've been able to talk like this, and I'm really happy that we get the opportunity to do so right now. I've really missed the like casual weekly vlogging style, and I'm especially excited about this one because I have just started The Devils by Joe Abercrombie, which was released yesterday. This stunning special edition proof copy was sent to me by Glanks, so thank you so much to Glanks for sending this one my way, because if you guys remember, throughout, I can't remember how long we were doing it for. Was it through 2023 and 2024? The series that Catch Up Book Club was reading was the entire First Law World by Joe Abercrombie. There's like 10 or 11 books in total, I think. So I think we were doing it for like a year and a half. Essentially, after that experience, there were things that I really liked about Joe Abercrombie, and there were things that I did not like as much. And I wanted to try something else from Joe, like set in a different world, so that I could make up my mind about whether Joe Abercrombie is an author that I want to continue to read more from, or whether he's just not really for me. Because after Catch Up Book Club, I felt like very middle of the road with like a ton of pros and cons. And I knew that this was the book that I wanted to try in particular. It's one of my anticipated releases, because without any spoilers, because it's not here yet, but I've known for around a year that this was going to be a subscription box book that is going to be arriving in May. So instead of investing in anything else from Joe Abercrombie, I knew that this one was going to be the one. So in terms of like what this one is actually about, I don't really know too much. I know that we're following a priest who has been tasked with converting a congregation of like sorcerers and devil worshippers and murderers into what I'm assuming is Christianity or some kind of version of it. And it is set in a rough approximation of a historical Europe. That is literally all of the knowledge that I'm going into this with. And like I said, I have started it, but I'm only 35 pages in. So the only additional information I have right now is that we also have a secondary perspective of this girl who's grown up as a thief, who is actually like the long lost princess of one of the kingdoms of this world. And because it's Joe Abercrombie, I do have some expectations. I'm expecting this definitely to be grimdark. I am expecting it to be a little bit satirical, have some humor in there as well, and actually honestly be a little bit gross, if I'm being honest. So I'm really excited to get stuck back into this one a little bit later this afternoon. But first, like if you're here, if you're a reader, if you love to read, if you love books, then you probably also love to snack. And what snack is better to eat alongside The Devils by Joe Abercrombie than a devil's food birthday cake? And it's actually doubly fitting because it was my birthday like 2 days ago, and while I did have a slice of birthday cake flavored pie, I did not have a full birthday cake. So I'm kind of going to make myself one right here, right now, with the help of the sponsor of today's video, which is Craftsy. So if you are a crafter in any way, shape or form, then I am about to make your day, because Craftsy is an online community and resource that offers over 2,000 classes across more than 20 very popular crafting mediums. So they have paper crafts, knitting, crochet, baking, which is what I'm getting into today. The classes are broken down into easy step-by-step instructions led by award-winning, very friendly instructors, making Craftsy the perfect resource for crafters of any skill level. So whether you are coming into something brand new, looking to get started, or whether you are looking to level up your skills, which is what I'm going to attempt to do today. So I'm obviously going to be focusing on baking today, which is one of my many hobbies. But if you have been here for any length of time, you will know that I love a craft. I am obsessed with crafts, and I'm so excited to continue to explore what Craftsy has to offer, because there's not only video classes, but a ton of extra resources like recipes and patterns as well. So the project that I'm working on today is going to be an ultimate chocolate birthday cake from Alice Medrich's class on decadent chocolate cakes. This is going to be very challenging for me, because while I do love to bake, I normally stick to things like brownies, loaf cakes, cookies, things that have one element to them. I don't really decorate. I have never made a sandwich cake. I've never made a cake with more than one layer. So I am a little bit nervous about this one. But before I dive into this very ambitious project that is going to test me, if you would like to check out Craftsy for yourself, I am so happy to let you know that the first 1,000 people who either scan the QR code on screen or click on the link at the top of my description box will receive 1 year of premium access to Craftsy for a grand total of $1.49. And once again, a big thank you to Craftsy for sponsoring this one. So I have my video. I have reviewed my materials. I have the video here in case I need to refresh myself on anything. I have already watched all of that though. And I like to have a hard copy. You can download these, but I like to have a hard copy of a recipe so that when I've got food all over my hands, like I'm not touching screens and trying to unlock my phone and stuff. So this recipe in total is, these are double-sided. 8 pages, so 4 double-sided sheets of paper. I have already made the ganache because it said to make it like hours ahead of time, so I did that last night. And I'm going to be starting on the sponges now. One thing that I may not make for this recipe is the ruffled chocolate fans, which are optional. They're just decorative to go around the outside. So we'll see how I get on with everything else. I feel like I'm not a patient person, which is why I do tend to keep my baking to one element. So I don't know if the fact that I'm already making a cake with multiple sponges that has filling and glaze is already too much for me, and the fans may just be one step too far. So we'll see how I progress. But I have my stand mixer here, which I got for Valentine's Day, and I honestly have not really had time to use it properly. So I'm excited to fire this up and actually get some use out of it and start working on this cake. Guys, if I look a little bit dusty, it's because I've already smashed a jar of flour before I even started this video. So that hopefully is not going to be a sign of things to come.
I couldn't see with how close I was. It's not hard to find if your grip is loose enough. How lucky to be by your side, to feel your stare. Sick as a dog, I run my hands through your hair. Running on time, darling, aren't we all?
Okay, so while my cakes are baking and my glaze is coming to room temperature, I am going to come into the front room and I'm gonna sit. Should I get myself a drink actually? I don't think I have any. Oh no, my water is in here, it's fine. So I have my water, I got my book, and I am gonna go ahead and get some reading done.
Something that I won't need to resolve, so twist my words.
Okay, this is where shit gets scary. These ones have been cooling for like 10 minutes. So it says that at that time, I should be able to unmold them. Let me use, oh, the edges got quite crusty. We did put the parchment paper on the bottom, so that should stop bottom from being an issue. It's not even moved. Got it. Hey, peel this off. I'm so scared. I don't know if they're supposed to be this flat. I guess that they are because I need a new oven. It doesn't cook in the appropriate times, especially when it comes to baking. These took like nearly 4 times as long as they were supposed to. But I want a new kitchen floor before I invest in that. That one was perfect. That one was easy. They smell kind of weird when they're coming out. I'm not sure if it's like the warm olive oil. I'm so scared. That one's like kind of weak. My cooling rack is upside down. I'm not going to be able to move this again. I know that in the video, I think it does say like if it falls apart, fuck. You just have to piece it together like a jigsaw puzzle. Oh no, what have I done? Like maybe, right, that can be like the middle layer of this cake because it's not held together very well at all. Okay, and then it needs to share space with this guy. Please don't fall apart on me. You're my only hope. No, 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 no. Oh no. I'm just gonna have to commit to it. There we go. There we go. Oh shit. Oh, my stick is stuck. No. Okay, that did not go as planned. Okay, I think she said something about using some of the glaze to stick the cake back together. So I'm gonna keep these bits in case I do need to do that. So here is the ganache that I made last night, and yes, I did just stick my finger in it, actually, mind your business. But now I need to whip this up to a creamy consistency, and then RIP me, we can start to assemble the cake. I feel like I maybe should have done this in my stand mixer. So my ganache is not whipping, it's just kind of like breaking down. It never really reached a consistency of whip. So I am just gonna roll with it. There is instructions for if it's too hard and it starts ripping up the cake, which, I mean, my cakes are not solid to begin with. So this isn't great, but what I do need is I need some hot water so that I can warm up my palette knife and see if we can fix this. I can't believe that it's been okay up until now, but the part that I've been worried about is the assembly, and that's the part where we're already starting to fail. God, I don't even know which one of these horrible sponges to use. Oh, I'm making it worse. I should have put these on individual racks, or like I've got trivets instead of doing it like this, because now I can't flip them to get them where I need them to be, because I'm just gonna flip. I'm risking it all. Oh no, don't do that. Okay, so I've got this guy. This guy's coming with me. I can't believe that worked. Allegedly, according to Miss Alice, nobody cares if it's bitty in the middle because they're here for this beautiful, elaborate cake that I'm gonna make. They won't even notice that it's cracked to pieces in the middle. This is already just like it's not what I intended this to be. This is where baking really doesn't work for me as well, because at this point, when everything starts to go wrong, I do not have the patience to sit here and think about how I can make it right, like what's gone wrong with my ganache and why it's lumpy and not like a smooth cream. So instead of trying to fix it in any way, we're just gonna like make do. We're gonna fake it until we make it. I know there's somebody watching this who's a master baker and they're crying, but what we're gonna do. Next sponge, I am going for this monstrosity. Okay, but now I've just got it here, and what do I do? Oh my god. Ah! This is a problem. Is this where I'm supposed to be able to use glaze to glue it back together? Oh my god, the whole just like side of the cake just fell off. Ooh, you know what? The ganache may be a disaster, but the consistency of the glaze, stunning. No, stop falling off. Oh, guys. I've made ganache before, and I have successfully made ganache before, actually. So I really don't know where I went wrong with this. At this point, like, I know it's not going well, but I have to commit to the bit. I'm hoping that if I lay the ganache unevenly on this row, the fact that it was uneven underneath, like it'll kind of like level it out. I am generally a firm believer of staying in your lane, and this is an example of where I should have really just followed my own advice. This one that came out last that I cooled individually is fine, and I wish that they were all like this. It would have made my life so much easier, but they're not. I'm gonna fill these holes in the top with ganache because I just have so much of it. I actually think I did a good job of leveling that out. This is not smooth. The whole point of this is to make it smooth, and I don't feel like that is what I'm achieving. And I also don't know, because of how much glaze I've used on this crumb coat, I'm not sure if I have enough to actually glaze the cake, because this is like a pre-glaze layer. I'm definitely not doing the chocolate fans. So the last thing we need to do is heat up this glaze and just pour it everywhere. I have heated the glaze to, well, it's supposed to be between 88 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really specific, but I think it's currently sitting at around 89. Now the scary thing is that the recipe and the video says that we just pour this on top, and it says we pour all of it, and I'm not sure I want to do that, but do I have to pour it all? I'm scared. Oh, it's all just gonna flood off. And then apparently it should just take a couple of, I mean, there's not enough glaze here actually. I know I was worried about pulling all of it, but mine isn't flat. It's supposed to be like perfectly flat, and mine is not. So I've messed up in that regard anyway. She also like just does this to cover the sides that are missed. Okay, well, she's done. I transferred it to a plate because the decorative stand that I was glazing it on was honestly a mess, and there was chocolate dripping everywhere. But I don't think it's too bad, especially now that it's on here and like the base of it looks a little bit tidier. I'm really impressed. I'm proud of myself. We'll see how it tastes. I can't remember how long it has to be in the fridge for, but I'm supposed to be at least somewhat set in the glaze, I think, before serving. There should be enough to have a piece tonight, like there should be enough time, but at the same time, like if I eat chocolate cake past like 7:30, it's not going to be good for anybody. So we'll see what happens, but I will report back and let you know how it tastes. I've done a little photo shoot with it as well, so we've all observed its beauty. Okay, moment of truth. Will it hold together? It's been in the fridge for about an hour. We've had dinner, and let's have a little look. Should I fully cut it? It's thick. Is she gonna hold together? That's not bad. The layers are undefined, and it's a mess. I'm sure it'll taste just fine. I'm gonna have to go for all layers, right? Oh my god. It's really moist. Oh my god, it's good. I am currently on sprints with my patrons, and I have just finished part 1 of The Devils. So I wanted to get to page 100. Part 2 starts on page 99. So I didn't quite achieve my goal for the day, and because I've got to the end of a part, I am going to leave it here for tonight. But in typical Joe Abercrombie fashion, I don't really have a clear picture at this point of what the actual plot of the book is going to be. I do have an idea, but from the synopses that I've read, which were, I guess, kind of the early ones, because this has been an anticipated release of mine, and like I said, I did know it was coming to me in a subscription box, so I did a little bit of research ahead of time, but that was a long time ago. And this one just has like a little page at the beginning. Everything I've read about this book focuses on the fact that we are following a priest and this congregation of convicted monsters. I've never seen this princess character mentioned, and I feel like she's definitely playing a key role in here. Throughout the beginning of the book, it alternates chapter perspectives between Brother Diaz, who is the priest, and Alex, who is the princess, and then we get some of the monsters into the POVs as well. So Brother Diaz essentially turns up at this place to meet with the Pope, who is a 10-year-old girl, and he believes that he's going to be given this amazing mission that is going to level up his career. And like, I guess he is, but he is tasked with shepherding this congregation of convicted monsters that they're keeping in, I think it's in the prison, like underneath the palace. So there are like 7 or 8 members of this congregation, and I am struggling a little bit. Something that I don't like about Joe Abercrombie, or some of Joe Abercrombie's books, is especially when we're talking about the standalones within the First Law world, I lost track of them very quickly, because Joe Abercrombie likes his action scenes. He likes to get into the action quite quickly, and when it's a standalone, I felt like he was introducing the characters too quickly, and then the plot was moving too quickly, and I couldn't keep track. Like the introduction of characters wasn't slow enough for me to be able to actually kind of grow to learn the differences between all of them, so I could keep them all straight in my head and assign like names to them. And I feel like we have a little bit of this here, because we have Brother Diaz, and then we have, I don't even know any of their names. The Baron is the vampire. There is a werewolf who is a lady that doesn't like to wear clothes. There's an elf I think she's called Sunny. There is Balthazar is everyone keeps calling him a sorcerer. He swears he's a magician and he specializes in necromancy. There is an immortal knight. There's somebody called Baptiste who is part of the like holy representation that they're traveling with right now, so not one of the monsters as far as I'm aware, but I can't remember specifically like what she is, what her role is. And then we have our princess Alex. So Alex has been found by the Duke, who is her uncle, as a street thief, and she's been identified by her name. She has a birthmark behind her ear, and she's also carrying half a coin on a necklace, which marks her as the daughter of the rightful empress of the serpent throne of, is it Talon? Troy, the serpent throne of Troy, who was usurped by her sister. So the eldest daughter, Duke's sister, who was supposed to be Empress Irene, was killed by her sister, and her daughter was thought to be dead. However, they've now located the daughter. The daughter is Alex. So they are taking Alex, like this whole congregation. I don't understand why this congregation are the ones escorting her, but Brother Diaz and his congregation of convicted monsters are escorting Alex to Troy, where she is going to stake her claim for the throne. Now, she's a street thief. She doesn't have any experience being a princess. She doesn't really know what's going on, but this opportunity got her out of a tough spot, and so she's kind of just rolling with it, even though she's quite aware that she's in over her head. And I think that the sister who's currently the empress that was never supposed to be is called Eudacia, and she is trying to discover the soul, like where the soul comes from, and she is doing so by experimenting with sewing humans and animals together, and she's created this army of like beast people. And as Alex and this congregation are progressing further towards the throne, Eudacia is sending her little beasties after them because she wants to hold on to her reign. So I feel like the point of this right now is that they're escorting Alex to the throne, and obviously obstacles are going to be continuously thrown into their path by Eudacia. That is all I have right now in terms of a plot, but that just feels far too simple to be the entire plot of this book, the entire plot of this series. There has to be more going on under the surface, or maybe they reach Troy and they realize that there's more going on than they originally anticipated. But that's kind of all I've got right now, and as I'm 100 pages into it, I probably won't give you any more details because it's best, like I only really talk about the first 100 pages when we're talking of a book of this size and I'm giving you an idea of what it's about. Everything past that is for you and me to discover ourselves as we explore the rest of the book. So yeah, that's where I'm currently at. I am feeling some type of way about it right now. I've only ever read the first Law World by Joe Abercrombie, so I didn't know how his style and his tone varied between his different projects. And right now, this is a little bit more like First Law than I anticipated it being, and that's not a great thing. I did say earlier that I expected this to be gross. It is definitely coming through on the gross front, and that to me is one of the things that I enjoy the least about Joe Abercrombie's narration style. But then, like with First Law, there are bits of this that I'm really enjoying and that I'm finding intriguing. So at this point, we have a mixed bag. I am having a little bit of an indoors day today. I feel like I've been bustling about here, there, and everywhere recently, and I know that I'm going to be out tomorrow all day, so I threw on an oversized hoodie this morning and decided that I do not wish to be perceived. I'm actually annoyed though, because I now have a sore tummy, which is not the reason why I'm having an indoor day, but it has now become the reason why I'm having an indoor day, because my tummy hurts and I'm not at all being brave about it. So I'm hoping that that settles down, because I am going out tomorrow and I'm very excited about it. But I am still working even though I'm having like an indoor day. It's not like I'm having a relaxing one. I'm still working, but it's like pretty chill. I've edited a video and sent it to my patrons for early access. I've started a Patreon bookmark, and I've also I've responded to some emails, and I've done a little bit of reading, although not in the devils. That is my plan for when I have finished filming this clip, maybe for like an hour or so, because I am supposed to be getting my workout in, but I don't know if I am now because I don't feel great, but I need to wash my hair, so I need to decide soon. So we'll see what the afternoon has in store for me. But right now I have an enormous box from Luna Bookish Flames candles to show to you guys. So if you guys didn't know, Luna Bookish Flames candles are a UK based bookish candle shop. They are on Etsy, and I do have a discount code for you guys if you want to get get any of their products, you can use my code Becca15, get yourself a 15% off discount. Because I'm a rep for them, I get a box of candles every month. This is my May box, and I'm very excited about it because I think it has a range of things in, but I'm pretty sure that it has a lot of their new bookmarked collection in, which is their best selling collection since it launched, I think a couple of weeks ago. So it's like mainly tropes and stuff, which is why I'm interested to see what Manos has put in here for me. And I'm pretty sure he did also say that as May is my birthday month, he's added a little extra because of that as well. So these boxes are always mammoth. Thank you very much, Manos. So let's see what we have this week, or this month, should I say. We once again have some of the French Bulldog stickers. I will, of course, link Luna Bookish Flames candles down below so you can check them out after this unboxing and grab yourself some stuff. So most of the stuff on top feel like they're big 9-ounce jar candles. We have, okay, these are Hunger Games. This one is Gale Hawthorne, and it looks like it's going to be a bit of a like incensey one. Oh, this smells good, but definitely like incense. It says that it's sandalwood, amber, incense, vanilla, patchouli, rose, jasmine, lilac, and blood orange. Oh, it's good. That one feels like it's going to have a really good scent throw on it. Next one is my boy Finnick O'Dare. This one is a fruity one. It has the initial scents in it are plum, peach, and raspberry. Oh, it is, but it is also quite a fresh one, and also smells a little bit like sugar, which I feel like is very fitting for Finnick. Is this one Powerless by Lauren Roberts? I did not enjoy that book. Oh my god, I like this candle though. It says that it's coconut, spices, sugar, espresso, banana, vanilla, cream, and cocoa syrup. It's actually not as sweet as you would expect it to be though, and it's like fruitier than I would have imagined. Bria's all up in the packaging today. Lenore Dove Baird. Is this one of the characters from the new Haymitch book? Oh, this is another sweet one, but it also has rum in it as well as ylang ylang. This one's really nice. It does smell a little bit perfumey. I feel like I can taste the rum, or smell the rum, should I say. I definitely cannot taste it, but this one is definitely one of the sweetest ones that I've opened so far, which if you guys don't know, sweet scents are my favorite. I'm trying to decide which ones are my favorites so I can let you guys know at the end. Oh, this one is one of the bookmarked collection, so it is poetry. I like that they have the big bookmark down the middle with the scents on. Ooh, okay. Oh, the label's really cute on this one as well. This one is a floral, but it does have honey, vetiver, amber, and tonka in it to make it a little bit more rich. It's very blue. Ooh, this one is very floral. This one is a perfume dupe, but it also smells quite a bit like Lush. This one is another one of the bookmarked collection. It is horror, and the scents on this one seem quite citrus. We have bergamot, grapefruit, lime, and ginger, but then we also have nutmeg, cinnamon, cedarwood, and leather. Oh, this is fresher than I anticipated, but it's also quite a masculine one. I do really like this one, even though it is, I would say, a fresh scent, and my favorites are sweet. This is one of these smaller tins, and it is a bookmarked. It is Dark Romance. Citrus, saffron, leather, softwoods, and raspberry. I'm hoping you can smell the raspberry. It's definitely more on like the leather and the woods, but it very much fits the theme of dark romance, I feel. Another one of these smaller tins, we have historical fiction. This one is almond, anise, citrus, peach, ylang ylang, jasmine, bourbon, vanilla, cedar, and musk. Oh, this one's nice. It's quite a creamy scent and just like a little bit lemony, like I don't know, like a lemon cannoli or something. There's a lot of vanilla in there. This one is one of their bigger tins. I think these tins are 8 ounce. The candle is Mythology. This one seems quite sweet and fruity. It's citrus, orange, coconut, sweet orchids, white musk, and vanilla. Yes, but once again, it's not overwhelmingly fruity. Coriolanus Snow, is that from the other Hunger Games book that isn't Haymitch and isn't the original trilogy? Once again, a fruity one. Grapefruit, rhubarb, blackcurrant, pink pepper, Bulgarian and damask, rose, musk, oak moss, and tonka. This smells expensive, which is the best way for me to describe it. It feels like a really nice home fragrance that you would find in like a expensive shop, you know, like in London, like a fancy boutique smell. Next Next up, we have Swipe Right from the Bookmarked collection. This is white chocolate, vanilla, and sugar. Very simple, very nice lilac glitter. And yeah, white chocolate, it smells like a Milky Bar. Oop, we have Miss Effie Trinket, and very fitting. Her scents are cherry, raspberry, praline, jasmine, rose, woods tonka, and palo santo. Very vibrant. This one's nice. This is like a very strong cherry scent, but like it has richness to it. This one is in my smut era with some citrus. We also, lemon buttercream, raspberry bubblegum, banana pear, and candy floss. It's giving pear drop. Oh, it doesn't smell like the lemon is really sharp, but it is also a sweet fragrance, but not overpoweringly sweet. Like it doesn't have a lot of buttercream. It's like heavier on the fruit. Okay, we've got 4 left. The next one is also a bookmarked. It is Classics. This one is quite fittingly, it seems like a floral. It's got tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom, cedarwood, and vanilla. Yes, this feels quite perfumey as well, and it is a little bit sharp. Oh, we have Cowboy Romance. This is vanilla orchid, jasmine, brown sugar, tonka bean, amber, musk, and patchouli. That one's nice. It's a vanilla, but it's a perfumey vanilla. It smells real good. Another Hunger Games candle, we have Lucy Gray. This one seems like it's going to be a floral. It does have lemon and pear in it, but it also has Bulgarian rose, peony, oud, vanilla, and cashmere wood. Oh, this smells expensive. I love the color on this one as well. Definitely a floral, but like a deep floral. And then finally, Young Adult from the Bookmarked collection. This one is a sweet one. It's bubblegum, banana, pear, musk, vanilla, and candy floss. And this is a dupe of Snow Fairy. This is a straight up Snow Fairy candle, and I support it. I am a fan of Snow Fairy. So which one is my favorite is the question. Oh, it smells like Lululemon. This is the one that I said smells like a fancy boutique. It smells like the fragrance that they pump in Lululemon, which makes sense why I like it so much. So this is definitely one of my favorites, but also the Young Adult, which is the Snow Fairy dupe, and Cowboy Romance, which is like the perfumey vanilla almost. And I also really like the Finnick candle as well, which is fresher. But once again, it reminds me of something and I can't figure out what it is. And once again, a big thank you to Manos for sending all of these my way. I need to find somewhere to store these now because my shelf is buckling. It's not really, don't worry. But I have a lot of candles. So I think the one that I'm burning is just about finished, so I can get a new one on the go for some reading ambiance while I read a little bit more of The Devils.
No way to make them work for you. Your windshield drawings start to fade. Oh, my heart will change. I wait for nothing. The intense rearrange, making space where there was none before.
Good morning. I have been in the car for like 2 hours already. It is 8:47 a.m. and I've been up since 5, which is not fun. I'm not feeling my best. I've only just got coffee because I didn't have time to make it when we left this morning. At what time did we leave? Like 6:50. I'm only just starting to wake up, but I'm very excited because today I am going for a tattoo appointment in Newcastle. I'm going to be getting my Red Rising tattoo, which I've been talking about for a while. I kind of wanted to wait until the series was done before I committed to it, but I was like, fuck it. Like, I am a Severo, Cassius, and Darrow stan, and I need to represent that. So as usual, I've gone for something that's like a little bit more subtle. Like if you didn't know it was a book tattoo looking at it, then you kind kind of wouldn't assume that. And the artist that I'm going to is Rachel, who is Uprooted Ink on Instagram. I will link her down below. But she's also a booktuber and has recently started a booktube channel, which I think is Rachel the Bookish, which I will also link down below as well. So I'm very excited to meet Rachel, but also to get my tattoo. But I have just got a McDonald's breakfast, and when I tell you I have eaten more McDonald's in the last month than I have in like the last 2 years, because I ended up with 2 in China where we were like really hungry and we had like a very small amount of options. And now, like, I very rarely, if I do go to McDonald's, it is usually either after a gig, if it's midnight and nowhere else is open and I get chicken nuggets, or if I'm in the car really early and we don't have time to actually go to a cafe or a restaurant or a brunch spot and get breakfast. So I've got a double bacon and egg McMuffin and 2 hash browns, because hash browns are the only thing from McDonald's that are genuinely good. That and their fries. Like, McDonald's can do potatoes. Aside from that, like, you would not catch me at McDonald's usually. It's not my fave, but needs must, and this girl needs carbs before my tattoo. I should probably actually look at what you're doing as well to make sure it's fine.
So I've printed a little bit bigger. I think I've maybe went slightly too big now, because I feel like this is now going to encroach on... actually, maybe the smaller one wouldn't, because like it stops here and armpit is like here. So it's like that this much space.
Yeah.
So maybe you could go this. I think that would probably be the biggest I want to go.
Okay.
Just for this space specifically, just so that we're not like going like right in
I
here.
want to leave a little bit of a space just above my elbow as well, because I feel like that's just like prime space for a small tattoo.
Yeah, that is a nice space for something like little. We can make it like, I can do like an in-between if you want to go like slightly smaller.
What was the other size, the smaller one? Yeah, I feel like if you went for like dead in the middle of those, that would be perfect.
We can absolutely do that. I will get them reprinted.
Thank you.
Wanted you to see Viso at night. Where once a year the rain obscures the sight. I kiss the water from your mouth, toiling with the thought of perfect.
Good morning. I'm in the process of making my iced coffee this morning. Oops, well, that one's for Brie now. But when I got back from my tattoo appointment yesterday, I pretty much just crashed onto the couch for a couple of hours because I've been up since 5, and I just went to bed and got myself a nice long sleep. I think I slept for like almost 10 hours last night, which was great. And my tattoo is probably the sorest one that I've ever had because of where it is, but I am obsessed. I'm in love with it. It's gorgeous. Thank you very much, Rachel, for the tattoo. I'm so pleased with it, and I'm glad that I finally have a Red Rising tattoo. But today, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, which is my new normal on the weekends because I don't have to work. I don't work weekends. I work Monday to Friday. Despite that, I still have things to do, and I still have things I want to do, and I also have a lot to read, and it's kind of feeling quite overwhelming at the minute because when I do feel overwhelmed, when I have things to do, I can't read because I feel like I need to make progress. But actually the most important thing I need to do right now is read, but I can't concentrate on it because I'm feeling the need to make progress. So I feel like I'm just kind of going around in this awkward cycle, and to make myself feel less overwhelmed, like I need to do something actually physical to make myself feel like I've accomplished something so that I can settle down and actually get some reading done. And therein lies the problem. So instead of like waking up in the morning, actually getting something done, the washing machine is on as well if you guys can hear that in the background, but instead of waking up and actually producing anything, I just kind of sit in paralysis and think about all of the things that I need to do and how I can't actually do all of them, instead of just cracking on and getting anything done. So I have read a little bit of The Devils today, which we will talk about, but I think I'm making my coffee. I'm gonna go drink it, read a little bit more, and then I'm gonna go to Screwfix to get some, some of those big builder's bags that I actually genuinely thought you could only get them if you bought something from a builder and they delivered them in the bags and then you'd have the bags, but no, you can just buy the bags. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm going to start demolishing my garden because I've talked about in the past how my garden garden is horrible because it was like an actual real garden that somebody cared about and took care of, but I can't garden. Like, I just want grass, a couple of trees, maybe some pots with some things in, and a seating area, maybe an outhouse, like a summer house. But I don't want a lot of plants because I just can't garden. Like, I just don't understand plants. My house ones like are doing okay, but they're also not thriving, you know, and I don't find any joy in gardening either, so it's not something I want to spend a lot of my time doing. The other problem with my garden is that my neighbours spend a lot of time in theirs, which makes me not want to be out there because I find them really obnoxious and loud. I do admit that part of this is that I really hate sound and being around other people, and part of it is that they spend all of their time in their garden, and it's like, well, when do I get to spend time in my garden? For that reason, I haven't really wanted to put time and effort and money into it, but I also know that the weather's getting nice. Like, I love sitting in the garden and reading. Like, I want to go and sit and read with my coffee in the garden, but I can't sit in a space that's so chaotic and have a nice time because then it makes me feel overwhelmed. You see how this is like a cycle? So my plan is to go and get the bags and remove at least one thing from my garden, which I think is actually today going to be a like raised bed that was, I think it was originally for planting vegetables and stuff, but I think we've established that I can't grow anything. So it's just overgrown with weeds, and I want to get that out, get it into bags and get them to the tip, and also get some reading done. So we're going to sit actually, and then I'm going to talk to you about my book. Welcome to the library. Bree is waiting for a morning cuddle, which happens here every morning. Are you coming up then? Come on. Yes, just don't knock that on the floor. Don't do it. Whoop. There we go. Oh, yeah. She's precious. She baby. Hello. Good morning, girlie. You're going to help me with the garden today. You are, aren't you? Yes. She's such a good girl. Okay, so my coffee is okay. I don't really like the espresso pods I'm using. At the minute, they're left over from last year, and I didn't like them last year either, but God forbid I let anything go to waste. So in terms of reading, The Devils, I am almost halfway through it. I've just finished part 2, which is 240 pages into the book, and I'm not having the best time with this. I'm not. It is too much like First Law for my tastes, and not the good parts of First Law either. So in terms of that, there are 11 books in the First Law series. There are, or are there 10? There's 10, right? A trilogy, 3 standalones, a collection of short stories, and then a trilogy. I had my issues with them, but I really liked the first and the last trilogy. I only liked one standalone, and I didn't like it that much either. And this actually reminds me a lot of my least favorite of the standalones, which I think is Best Served Cold. It's the first one, so it comes directly after the first trilogy. And you know what? A lot of people loved that book. A lot of people thought that was, don't sniff that. A lot of people said that was their favorite book in the entire First Law world. It was not for me. And this is a little bit too reminiscent of it for my liking. I'm pretty confident at this point, halfway through. I'm going to commit to the book. I'm going to carry on, but I'm pretty confident that Joe Abercrombie is not the author for me. There are elements of this book that I really like, and there are elements of it, more elements I would say, that I actually really don't like. It is a little bit gross, and it's not gross in a way that I enjoy. Like, I will make a gross joke from time to time, but then I also accept that there are a lot of gross jokes that I just genuinely think, like fart jokes, I don't think are funny. I'm like, it's what, like, why are we doing this, you know? And not to say that this has a bunch of fart jokes, but like, it has jokes about bodily fluids and noises, and I'm like, I just don't think it's funny. I think it's gross, which is fine, and I know that some people do think it's funny, and that's just me, but it kind of like puts me off the book almost, because I just feel like Joe Abercrombie's humor and my humor are not the same. I don't like humor related to the body in ways like that. Like, I don't think there's been any sex scenes in here so far, but like in terms of the First Law books, like the way that the sex scenes were written, I guess was supposed to kind of be like gross and funny, and I just didn't like them. So I feel like I'm missing a lot of the humor in this book, and I don't enjoy it. I also generally, like, we know this, like, I don't like books that are fun. Books that are funny are also not my favorite. And we have maybe a little bit more of me in this frame, Brie. Would that be okay with you? No? Okay then. That's fine. So I feel like the subject matter of the story isn't taken super seriously. The way that the action scenes are written are quite theatrical. It's almost like reading a play or like reading a description of a play, because obviously a play is like solidly dialogue told in some sort of like satirical slapstick manner. And just tonally, I feel like Joe Abercrombie makes light of things for the sake of humor that I want to be taken seriously. And I feel like there's just a real disconnect between Joe Abercrombie's writing style and the way he intends it to be received and the way that I receive it. And I do think that that's just a me problem. I don't think that this is a bad book. I think I am just coming to the conclusion that Joe Abercrombie is to me. And I feel like my mistake here is that I expected this book to be different. And it is in fact not different. It is very much in the vein of some of the books in the First Law world. The writing style is very comparable to First Law. And I would say that in terms of the pacing and the tone of this one, it is, because I expected this to be more like the First Law books. If it was going to be like First Law, I expected it to be more like the First Law books that I enjoyed, like the first and last trilogy, because this is, as far as I'm aware, this is the first book in a series. But instead, it is more reminiscent of the standalones with a large cast of characters, a pretty fast pace, a lot of kind of like slapstick, jaunty action scenes, and I'm not enjoying it very much. So that is sad because I was quite excited for this. It is also, as I mentioned, going to be coming, I don't want to say spoilers, I feel like everyone knows what subscription box this book is going to be in, but I don't want to spoil it for those of you who go into things to be surprised, you know. But if you know, you know, and if you don't, my unboxing will be at the beginning of June and we can find out together. But there is a very new subscription box that starts this month that I am very excited about, and I've been excited about for a very long time, and this is going to be the first book, and I am now sad because I'm still excited actually to see what that subscription box does with a book like this in terms of the aesthetics and how it looks. Like, I'm really intrigued to see, but unfortunately I doubt it will be a book that I'm keeping because this isn't going well. And I feel like with how middle of the road I am on Joe Abercrombie, where there's some things I like and some things I don't think he's an author that's worth me pursuing if I'm going to continue to have such conflicting thoughts about his books. So I thought we'd start with a little walkthrough of the garden so you can see what we've got. This we will be doing something with eventually. Over here I want to keep this, which is a wisteria for sure, as well as these trees. All of this is mainly weed and needs ripping out. Same with all of this. I do want to keep this is an apple tree, so we're keeping this, and so is this one. And all of this stuff here is all astroturf, so all of this needs taken up, and we want to turn like this entire area into grass, like a full lawn. Hopefully maybe stretching, because we're going to take all of this trellising down, hopefully stretching like through here as well once we've cleared all of this out. This just stops Brie from going down. So then this greenhouse needs dismantling and taking to the tip. I will not be going in here because I'm scared. And this is the fruit and veg bed that we're going to be tackling today. This is like supposed to be the base of it, and it is like wildly overgrown, like wildly. The plan is to take all of the weed out and get that into the compost bin, and then break down the wood, get that into a separate bag for the tip, and then get all of the soil in a bag for the tip as well. And then just in general, this eventually needs to come down, but it will be one of the last things to go because we are actually using it for like stuff. Eventually maybe we'll put like a summer house or a garden room down here, or like a nice seating area, but that's what we're working with, starting with clearing everything out. And today we're aiming to tackle all of this, so wish me luck. Did 2 trips to the tip and we have achieved not very much at all. Soil is heavy, guys. It's really, really heavy. I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. We are giving up for today because it's hot and I'm now tired. I don't want to go to the tip like once every half an hour, but I think we might need to get a skip because we didn't even touch this. Like, you can't even tell. All of the greenery's gone that got in the burn bin, but aside from that, like, you can't even tell that we were here. R.I.P. Good morning. It is early for Sunday. It's like pretty 8 a.m. and we are out because we're going to a car boot sale. I'm actually really excited. I think it's actually been years since we've been to a car boot, hasn't it? I don't even know what I'm looking for. Like, I'm there for the bags, but what bags, you may ask, because it's not books. Can't be bringing any books home. That has like real life consequences. So yeah, I'm not sure why we're going. I mean, jigsaws, but I already have tons of those I haven't done. So I don't know, but hopefully something. Hopefully it's not a wash. And honestly, I just love to rummage. So we went to the car boot and it was terrible. It was terrible. There was like maybe 15 stalls there, if that. And we had to walk because like the place where it is, there's like an entrance that's like a 10-minute walk away from our house. Or you have to go all the way around. It's like where the car entrance is, and they didn't have the foot entrance open, and it was devastating. And it was an extra 10-minute walk. So after that terrible experience, my car boot itch has not been scratched. I spent £2. I spent £1 to get in, and £1 on a tombola, because it was for charity. So because my car boot itch has not been scratched, we've walked all the way back home and we're in the car and we're going to the really big car boot that's near my dad's, which I may have regrets later because it's like a 25-minute drive each way, and because it's such a big car boot and it's like a regular thing, it's going to be real busy and I might not even buy anything still. But I got so excited to go and look at the bags, even if I wasn't going to buy any. And there was nothing. It was just like the whole thing, including like a 20 to 25-minute walk each way, took us an hour. So wow, we were there for like 10 to 15 minutes. I brought 3 tote bags and Curtis said like, do you need 3 tote bags? Isn't that a lot? And I was like, I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. Turns out it was a lot because I bought nothing.
It's not easy.
After all of that palaver, I bought one singular thing from the car boot today, which was this Walt Disney World decorative plate. I have a tile that is very similar that I picked up from a charity shop like years and years ago. I am a big fan of like Disney, especially like Disney World and Disneyland kind of like decorative items, especially if they're a little bit older, if they're a little bit vintage. And I also like things like vintage Coke advertising, Coca-Cola to be clear. And this cost me a grand total of £2. So it was indeed a bargain. Just to specify as well, because Aaron from Books and Busy, if you don't know, you should subscribe. Aaron asked me if I had any plans for the weekend, and I told her I was going to a car boot sale, and I don't think you guys in the US have them. So just to specify for anyone who doesn't know what a car boot is, it's essentially like a garage sale, but it happens like in a field. Like you fill your car full of stuff that you want to sell, you take a fold-up table, you get it out of the boot of your car or like the trunk of your car, and then people come. And they come for miles to peruse your wares, which is what I did today. And since then, I'm feeling a little giddy. I've had a beer. I can't lie. I came home and made an absolutely beautiful chicken wrap. I made like chicken shawarma thighs, like boneless thighs in the air fryer, and I made a wrap out of them. And I poured myself a beer, and I've been sat in the garden for the last few hours reading The Devils, which I thankfully only have 85 pages left of. So my plan is to work out, shower, and then I don't know if I'll have time after that or whether it will be like dinner. But whenever I'm done with whatever I'm doing, I'm getting back into this and I'm finishing this damn book, and not a moment too soon, let me tell you. And if I'm being honest, the end of it has been a little bit better. We've had some plot reveals that were interesting. They didn't exactly blow my mind, but they did pique my interest. And I just have accepted at this point that Joe Abercrombie isn't for me. And I think that we've only really gotten to this point because of Catch Up Book Club. Because if I didn't have to persevere throughout Joe Abercrombie for the book club across last year and the year before, I don't think I ever would have made it as far as to read that second trilogy. And it was that second trilogy that convinced me to give Joe Abercrombie another chance. And I just think stylistically, he is not an author for me. I just don't like it. I don't think it's bad. I don't. And if you like Joe Abercrombie, if you like the First Law World, if you like especially like Best Served Cold, this is a solid piece of Joe Abercrombie work. But that is why I don't like it. There are things that I do like though. I don't like the satire in execution in terms of like, I don't like the surface level of the satire, shall we say. So like, I don't love the jokes and what we're poking fun at necessarily, but I do love like the deeper meaning of the satire. So part of like one of the main themes of this book is like the hypocrisy of religion. We're not using like a literal representation of Christianity. There is, I would say that this is like an alternate history. There is a lot that mirrors our world, a lot that mirrors Europe. It's set in Europe, a lot that mirrors Christianity. But one key difference is that the Jesus figure, the savior figure in this world, is a woman. And because of that, the Pope is a woman. At some point in the history of this world, the faith has now split in two, which I guess did happen because like Christianity, Judaism, and Islam all worship the same God, but they believe different things about like Jesus. So at one point, some people decided that they wanted to rally behind the savior, and some people decided that they wanted to rally behind and like worship God strictly. So you have this one section that like accepts the Pope and accepts the savior, and another section that doesn't, and these two are at war. It also has elements of like D&D in it, and that we have like the different, well, it's the elves specifically, I feel, because they remind me a lot of like the flesh-eating elves of Divinity. And we also have like werewolves and vampires, all stuff that I guess is super present in like European lore and mythology, playing like a key role in this story. And there is actually one character that I like, and that is Sunny. And Sunny is an elf. Everyone hates the elves. They eat the flesh of their enemies, and they are trying to rid the world of humanity. They have overrun the Holy Land, which I think is going to be the main thing that our main characters end up dealing with throughout the course of this series. It's not really relevant to the plot of this first book, but Sunny is an elf, and people believe horrible things about her, and she has never been loved. Nobody has ever cared for her. Nobody has ever really even said anything nice about her. And her constant, like her inner monologue is just constantly about how much everyone hates her and how much she just wants to be like I guess like a regular person. And part of, I guess, the themes of this is that elves are just like regular people, and by which I mean they're absolutely terrible, just like humans are. They also have like regular positive traits as well. And one thing that I will say about this, actually, because I was saying in maybe my first update on this book about how I hate Joe Abercrombie's sex scenes, he has skipped them all in this book so far, so that there has been sex, but it has not happened on page, so I haven't had to read all of the grunting that happens. But I think something that like really stood out to me recently is that during the festive period this year, I was in a situation where I was surrounded by men ranging from like 30 up until like 60, and one thing they have in common is that they're all still obsessed with their balls. And that is what Joe Abercrombie books feel like to me. Like, they're obsessed with like, let's make funny gross jokes about sex, let's make funny gross jokes about shit. And it's like, okay, if you want, if that's what you feel like I genuinely like was shocked to be in a room with men of all ages to find out that they still just constantly make ball jokes. I thought that was just my friends. So yeah, it just has that energy about it, which I don't love. Really, it's not my vibe, but I will be glad when it's over, and I will let you know my final thoughts when I get to that point. But right now I need to stop procrastinating on the Tabata class that I've been avoiding for quite some time and hop on the bike and get it done. It was a struggle, and I did not enjoy a lot of it, but last night I did manage to finish The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. And you know what, by the end I kind of felt like I was sad it was over, which is weird because like throughout actually reading those last 80 pages, I was so ready for it to be over. I was bored, I was dragging my feet, I was losing the thread. But there is one really positive part of this story, something that I actually did really enjoy, and that is the chaotic character work, which I would say is actually the main point of this book. Like the chaotic nature of the characters and their dynamics and the way that they're like unlikely companions that throughout the course of this book, through the trials and tribulations, become a found family, was actually really endearing. And thinking back on it, like I know I said there was only one character that I actually enjoyed. By the end of it, I actually kind of liked most of them. The only one that I don't really feel attached to, even at this point, is Brother Diaz, which is unfortunate because going into this, like the way that this book has been marketed, it has been marketed as him being the central character, and he is, I don't want to say he's useless. He does play a role in this story, but he is by far the blandest character out of everyone that we have assembled here, unfortunately. That being said, even though I did really like the way those characters grew together throughout the course of this book, I still think that this is it for me with Joe Abercrombie. I gave this one a low 3 stars. It was dead set to be a 2, which I felt kind of bad about because, like I said, I don't think that this book is necessarily bad. I think if you're a Joe Abercrombie fan, you will find a lot to love in this one. I'm just not a Joe Abercrombie fan, and I actually have talked about this in a video that maybe you haven't seen yet because I have no idea in what order I'm publishing things at the minute. But Katie Robert, okay, she writes really good erotica, and if you like Katie Robert's books, you'll continue to enjoy her books because she does what she does consistently well. But for me, it's just a little bit too much, and it's the same thing with Joe Abercrombie. Like, if you love him, if you like his work, then this is very much in the same vein as his best work, and I think that you'll have a great time. But for me, as somebody who likes him a bit, is not that into him, I don't think I'm going to be willing to continue on with Joe Abercrombie in the future. I heard that this was marketed as a standalone as well. I always thought that it was the first book in a series, which I'm actually pretty confident that it is. I don't know whether we're going to be going with like isolated standalone plots, because this does, like, the point of this book does resolve, but there is also plenty that's left open for the series to like launch off. And as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I think the fact that the elves have like overrun part of this world is going to play a key part of this, and I think it's going to be kind of a formula of the band comes together again and again to embark upon this crazy mission for as long as this series continues. I don't know if there is going to be an overarching plot. If the first law is anything to go by, then probably not one that comes together with any cohesion and finality anyway. But yeah, I'm glad that I read this because I know now that Joe Abercrombie isn't for me. I think that he is a writer with a very distinctive style, and if you like that style, amazing. If you don't, maybe don't continue to try with his work. It hasn't worked out for me. Maybe it will work out for you, but I just think that if it is his style that you find off-putting, continuing on at least to the Devils is not going to be the best move. I have heard really good things about his YA fantasy series, the Half a King series. Honestly, while I'm sure that you guys are right, while I'm sure it is very good, I just think for me, having not really enjoyed a lot of Joe Abercrombie's books, there are much better things that I can kind of invest my time in than continuing to try Joe Abercrombie. So yeah, I think this is it for me. And also, actually, it is it for this vlog. Once again, a big thank you to Craftsy for sponsoring this one. And do you remember that if you would like to get yourself 1 year of Craftsy Premium for just $1.49, you can go ahead and click on the link at the top of my description box to do just that and make yourself. That cake was so good. I finished it yesterday. It was amazing. It was dubious in assembly, but the taste, the moisture, it was so good. So yeah, if you want to try that out for yourself, you know where to find the recipe. The next vlog on my channel, like I said, I don't really know what order you're going to be seeing things in. It's either going to be Shelve It or Scrap It, or it's going to be the vlog that I'm about to start literally right now, which is going to be for Ruin by John Gwynne, which is my current catch-up book club read. I have 1 week to read this, and it's thick. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but if you are interested in my thoughts on Ruin, you know where to find them. So I do hope you've enjoyed this vlog if you've made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.